Well, hello everybody, and here we are, another episode of Out and About with Toni and Diane. So welcome to the show. As you can see, today is only Out and About with Toni. Diane unfortunately was not able to make it today, so we're sorry, but you're going to have to just deal with me for today. Hi Diane, sorry you can't be here, we all miss you. But let me just tell you where we are. This is the newly renovated Streator High School auditorium. Oh my goodness, what a place. And for those of you not aware, Streator High School was built in 1875. The auditorium was, I think, part of the original high school. Then it fell into some disrepair over the past 100 years. So in early 2020, pre-COVID, the auditorium was completely renovated. It's absolutely stunning. Brand new seating, beautiful balcony. You can see the beautiful artwork on the sides. The stage, you can't see it, is also just immense. So this is just an amazing place. But the reason that I'm standing here is because I just bought tickets for myself and a number of my friends to come here to the premiere and the first production of His Name Was Nicholas, which is going to be performed on this stage in December. And we're going to talk with Eric Elder, who is the producer, screenplay writer, man of many hats who's putting all this on. And so I just came to see where I'm going to sit. And I got some great seats here. So perfect view of the stage. There's still, as you can see, a ton of seats. But yeah, great job on the auditorium. I'm really impressed, and I can't wait to come and see the play. If you're interested, and we'll announce this later on too, but you can buy your tickets at hisnamewasnicholas.com. There might still be a few left. There's going to be a couple of performances, so check your calendars to correspond with the ticket sales that are still open when you go to the website, and it is hisnamewasnicholas.com. So I'm going to go look for Eric, because we're going to talk about that a little bit. Stay tuned. So here we are, still in the beautiful Streator High School auditorium, and with me is the author, producer, director, and we'll talk a little bit more about all the hats he wears of this special performance of His Name Was Nicholas, Eric Elder. So yay, so glad you're here.
Thanks, this is fun, I appreciate it.
Oh, we're so excited. I mean, this is just like, I think it's the first official big presentation that we're having here in the auditorium, so it's exciting. So this is a play, but it started out not as a play, but as a book. Is that correct?
That's right.
Can you give us some history on how this all came to be?
Yeah, well, about 25 years ago, my wife had the idea that it would be nice to tell a new story for Christmas. She loved watching It's a Wonderful Life and The Nutcracker, shows like that, but she wanted one that really pointed people to the one that she believed in most strongly, and that was Jesus. And she was looking for something that was really the reason for Christmas. And she knew the story about St. Nicholas, the real St. Nicholas who lived back in the 3rd century, and she thought that would be a great story because he had a great faith. And people sometimes don't know that St. Nicholas is what became our Santa Claus, and people think there's some kind of competition between Santa Claus or the birth of Jesus, but really Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, loved Jesus with all his heart and soul, mind, and strength. And so it's a great way to tell the Christmas story through the eyes of a real man called St. Nicholas.
Okay, so St. Nicholas was the predecessor, so to speak, to Santa Claus, or it evolved into, or it's from his name, which he was from where?
He was from what we call Turkey today, the city of Myra, and he lived nearby. He was born in Patara on the northern coast of the Mediterranean. So it's a little city. You can go visit it today. You can visit Patara, you can visit Myra, and I've actually been to both of them.
Oh, really?
It's a beautiful part of the world, and just to see where he lived, where he grew up. And it was back in the Roman days, so there's all kinds of Roman architecture and colosseums and things from early the 3rd century.
So how does what does St. Nicholas translate to in linguistically from that language? Would be Turkish?
Well, so Saint Nicholas, so he would have just been Nicholas. So that's why
Okay.
the show's called. His name was Nicholas. But then later on, he became a saint, as they gave sainthood to different characters, different people. And then in Dutch, it was Sinterklaas. Saint, that's how they would say Saint Nicholas, Sinterklaas.
Okay.
And when the Dutch came over here, it became Saint Nicholas.
I knew there was a connection there between Saint Nicholas
so it's the
and...
Nicholas becomes the
Okay,
Klaus.
so
and
not
Saint.
Turkish, but
Well,
Dutch.
Dutch, Sinterklaas, right.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
great. So your wife decides to write the story about Saint Nicholas and who he was, and
Right, she thought about the idea, and we weren't movie producers, we weren't book writers at that time, but over the years we've done a lot of research, and I've traveled to Turkey and I've traveled to London to talk to the premier scholar on St. Nicholas. We've done a lot of research over the years and read a lot of books, and really we wanted to pull the best facts that we could find from that time and then infuse it with a little Christmas spirit from today.
wow.
And so it's a lot of the show really is historical, based on historical fact.
Okay.
But we've given a lot of great Christmas flair and some characters for him to interact with that make it really heartwarming and a sweet Christmas show.
Okay.
It's
So
funny,
hopefully
it's
this
sad.
will become a classic that we'll be watching
That was
or
our hope. That was
seeing
our hope, yeah, that we would
performances.
eventually make a movie that could be watched year after year after year. So we wrote a book that we fleshed out. So the story, this was back in 2013, I finished the book called St. Nicholas the Believer, and I uploaded it to Amazon, and then people have been reading it with their families ever since, and they'll write me and say, I read this every year, and my kids just love it. They love
Can
the
I take a
characters."
peek?
Sure.
I didn't know this was an option.
So that was just the basis for the story, just to flesh out the story, but I thought it would be a nice story for people to read too. But then during COVID, I turned it all into a script and a screenplay, and I wrote 25 songs to go with it. So it's a musical, Christmas musical.
So, do you hear this? Not only does he write books, he's not only an author, but now he's a composer and a screenplay writer. Amazing.
So
Talents are like,
this is
wow.
the full script for the show, and it's all the dialogue and all the characters, and we have 60 actors from here in Streator that are in the show.
Are they all from Streator?
All Streator
Area?
surrounding
Oh,
area,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, all
nice.
local.
So you held auditions recently,
We held
did you not?
auditions, we found all the characters, and I just love the cast. You're gonna love Nicholas. There's also a young Nicholas. There's a friend of his, Dimitri. I play Dimitri, and then there's a young Dimitri. And
So are
there's
you
some sweet people.
directing,
So I'm directing too, yeah, since I wrote it, I just
producing,
thought,
and starring?
well, I'm in it, but yeah, it's really, yeah, it sounds like
Wow.
Lin-Manuel Miranda or something. It's not, with the Hamilton thing, but no, it's not quite that. But yeah, it's been my dream and desire.
Yeah.
And so we put this together, and all 25 songs are in the back of the script too, so we've got it all here. And then if other communities want to perform it, we'd love to have them do it too. Communities or churches or anyone could do this in the future, but this is the first that we've
Okay.
ever done. So
So would you travel, let's say for instance, you have a church in Springfield, Illinois, or or a school or an organization that wants to put on this show and have the same experience that we are going to be fortunate enough to have here in Streator. Would they contact you and then you go down there and you arrange for everything and you help them and you guide them through it, or are they kind of like, what happens?
well, it's more
Just
like
in case.
more like a traditional show like Oklahoma or something that you would just you buy the script. This is on Amazon already, so you can just get the scripts on Amazon. You would just contact me for licensing rights just to make sure that it's okay to do it, but then you really put on the show. We hope to have some tracks that you could use if you don't have musicians. We're using local musicians to do a little pit band with it, but we'll have some
Nice.
tracks from that you could use and then perform it yourself.
Okay.
And hold
But
your
all
own
the
auditions.
pieces to the
All
puzzle
pieces
are in here.
Right, all the pieces are here, and as we stage this version, we'll have a taped version that you could watch, and then you can see costume ideas, you can see character ideas, you can get an idea for all the songs. And if you go to hisnamelessnicholas.com, you can listen to some of the songs right now, and they're beautiful orchestrations that a friend of mine did, and you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy the music too, and it's Christmassy, it's fun, it's John Williams, it's Disney, it's all those tied into one.
Wow, I'm really excited. I got, like I said, I bought my tickets and 5 of my friends are coming, and that sounds like it's going to be really quite the show, quite the show. So this is the book
That's the book, St.
that
Nicholas
was
the
originally
Believer.
that your wife had
in mind.
Had in
right,
mind. This
right.
is it. So this is available also, you said,
That's
on
on Amazon too.
Okay, and look, it even says a Christmas gift for you. How nice is that? I'm thinking what a great Christmas gift it is.
It
right?
is, yeah, and we'll be offering those at the show too.
Are you?
In the lobby
Okay.
if you want to pick up copies if you come see the show, December 17th and 18th.
Yeah, we've got to talk about that. Yeah. So here's the book. Be available to purchase here after the performance, before the
Right.
performance.
Even when you buy your tickets, you can reserve a copy so it's ready
Oh.
for you and you just pick it up.
Oh, there you go. So perfect.
Great.
So
And then this is the script and screenplay if people wanted to ever do it in the future. It's got the full script, the full music.
right.
or-
So if you want to do your own thing in your own community,
Mhm.
or you want to, or you know somebody who would be interested, there's another great Christmas gift, right? Say you know somebody who's in theater who really enjoys drama, right?
Pass this along.
Yeah, buy
That would
them
be
the rights to buy them the book, have them secure the rights to do a performance. Yeah,
Right,
super,
right.
super.
And in fact,
Yeah.
our show, even if you live out of town or don't feel comfortable coming out in public, you can buy a ticket to watch it online live. So you can watch all 3 shows.
Oh, I did see that.
And then you'll be able to watch it online, and you can watch all 3 shows for the same low price. So.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So the performance dates are Friday and Saturday, December 17th and 18th.
Right.
Here in lovely Streator, Illinois.
3 shows, one on Friday night at 7 p.m., one on Saturday at 2 p.m., and one other on Saturday night at 7 p.m. So 3 shows Friday and Saturday.
Okay, so those are your opportunities to come here and watch the show. I think it's going to be a win-win. And then if you can't, like you said, if you can't make it out, you can watch a live
You
stream.
can watch it live stream online, and the tickets to come in person are very affordable, $10, $15, or $20, so depending where you want to sit, but every seat here is a good seat. When they renovated it, there used to be over 1,000 seats, but they've narrowed it down to about 634 seats, about. Very clear.
634.
There are 634 because I want to sell every one of them, because I want to reach as many people as we can with this great message. It's a great message of hope for the holidays. But also, they brought a lot of the seats forward, so every seat's
Yeah,
a great seat
it is.
here. And
Right?
we'll be live streaming too, so you can buy a ticket to live stream if you're not comfortable coming in person. But we'd love to have you here. Bring your family, bring your friends, and we can talk more about the show.
And tell people about it, because it's not often that we have this type of opportunity in town to have a performance on stage that comes to us from somewhere else as opposed to just a student body or a musical event. So this is a great opportunity for Streator, put us on the map, even more so than we are in many other ways. Wild Dogs helped us and a lot of things happening in town, and this is just another way to put Streator on the map. So wonderful. And so then where do you go from here? So we have a book, we have a screenplay, we have a live performance in Streator, available to others to do if they want, and then is there a next step for His Name Was Nicholas? Where else?
So the next
Broadway?
step is, I'd love to do it on Broadway. We're off Broadway right here.
Yeah,
we're
we are.
blocked off of Broadway. So this is our off-Broadway opening, our world premiere. But I would love to make a movie then. That's our next ultimate goal, is to make a movie. And I was just in Italy in August, a couple months ago, just to scout out some locations, and a couple of my kids went with me, and we looked and we filmed, and a number of the backdrops you'll see in the show are actually locations that we filmed, because Italy has a very coastal area that looks similar to what Turkey is, and it's a little easier to film in Italy. And so we're thinking we might film there. We found all the locations that we need if we decide to do that. So once we see how audiences react, I'd like to see where they laugh, where they cry, what really moves them, and then those are the things we'll put in the movie. So this is in some ways for Streator, very much. We love to give hope to Streator, but also it's a test case for us to make sure that we have ironed out everything in the show. So when we film it and solidify it, we really have a good product that we can offer worldwide.
Wow, there's just no end to where this is going to go. I'm excited. It's great.
We
It's
hope so.
great.
We hope
So, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, but so how do you do this? Where does the money come from? Who's funding it? Is this your personal project or sponsorships? How is this happening?
Thanks. Well, the reason we're in Streator is because I used to live here. Our family was here when my kids were young. I have 6 kids. And so one of my sons was born here in 1998, and I lived here for about 10 years after that. And I served as the president of the Ministers Association at the time. And so I worked with all the churches in town, and I preached at a lot of the churches, and just had a lot of relationships with the churches in town. So when I was looking for a place to do the show and to do this first world premiere, I talked to some different communities and places, and Streator said yes, and the ministers all said yes. They thought it would be great, and there are a number of my friends, and so they said, yeah, let's do this, and we'll get behind it. We'll sponsor it. And so a number of the churches in town have made donations, as well as some other family organizations, and
OSF, did
OSF
you say?
Healthcare sponsored us, the Deacon Family Foundation, St. Paul's Lutheran, Church of the Open Bible, Grace Community Church, Prairie Creek Fellowship, Central Church of Christ, Serving Goodness and Grace, another ministry, and then my own ministry. So amongst all of us, we've put this together and said, all right, let's do a show. We held auditions, and now we're here. We're just, next month we'll be live.
So since it's a sponsored event, right, through basically donations or sponsorships from organizations, can an individual, let's say I was really impressed with the show and I said, you know what, Eric, I really want to be part of this, so can I give you some money for the next?
Yes, that would be great. When you buy your tickets, there's a button and you can click make an extra donation to our ministry, and it'll come straight to our ministry, and then we put that towards our future projects, including the movie down the road. Also, if you want to just take out an ad in the program, there are other sponsorships available that you can still put your name in, or put a, hey, good luck to so-and-so in the show, or whatever you want, and you can just go to hisnamewasnicholas.com, and you can find out about other ways to sponsor the show. But all the funds then, after we make our budget, will go into future productions and other ways to reach out, like we're doing here in Streator.
Very good. Now, how long is the show? If the show begins at 7, what can people anticipate? Will there be an intermission in the middle?
Yeah, there's a 15-minute intermission. We're shooting for about 2.5 hours, including the intermission. So we'll see as we get through our rehearsals. If it's a little shorter than that, it might be 2:15, it might be 2:45, but yeah, 2.5 hours is probably safe.
All right, so that's good to know.
And the shows are at 7 and 2 and 7, so you'll have 2.5 hours.
So you guys get a little break on that Saturday. You have a matinee at 2 o'clock. And then the next show starts at 7, so it gives you a little break in there in between. Now, and parking, of course, is not an issue. We have a tremendous amount of parking here at the high school, so if you're coming from out of the Streator area, no need to be concerned about where you're going to park. Lots of parking space, so that's good too. Good to have. And then, of course, we are still in a COVID environment, so the school does require that you wear masks when you enter the building. And then I think, is there a protocol determined for the auditorium?
So we'll have to see where things land in December, but yeah, we'll follow local guidelines and whatever that entails at the time.
And then I think, is there anything that I'm missing that you want to share with people?
Well, I think the heart of the story is what I'd love to share. Just that it's really a story of hope, and a story when people are going through really terrible things, that there's still hope. There's always hope. Because St. Nicholas, not to give it away, but it happens right at the beginning of the show, but his parents die in a plague which ravaged that part of the world at the time. And even when I was there, you could just see still the devastation from that the city that was this booming metropolis and had a coliseum, not a coliseum, an auditorium that seated 5,000 people. That's the size of the Rockefeller Center in New York. It's huge, huge coliseum. The ruins are still there of that, and their city government, and their pillars and arches. But between the plague that ravaged that part of the world, plus some sand came in, filled in their harbor, and now it's a town of less than 2,000 people. And so it's a small community over there. But Nicholas himself, he lost his parents when he was young, and that could make people bitter. Or they could decide and choose to make the world better. And Nicholas chose to make the world better. And so we always have responses to catastrophes. We always have responses to things that happen to us. And my own wife passed away from cancer in 2012, just before we published the book. She was making her final edits on the book 2 weeks before she passed away. And she had a very quick 9-month journey with cancer, and then she was gone. And that just took a toll on me, and it took a toll on my kids. And a lot of the things, as I worked on the book to finish it up, just through my own journey of grief, made its way into the book. And so it deals with death and suffering and pain and loss, but in a way that is gentle on the soul, and a way that I believe is very cathartic and can help you process your own grief. Many people have lost loved ones, they've lost jobs, they've lost relationships, everything's changed in the last 2 years. And so I think they can see through this show a portrayal of hope, and how you can really take these really terrible situations and use them as springboard, not waste your pain, but use it for good. And that's what Nicholas did. And that's why he's remembered around the world, because he really did take that pain and he used it for good. And he's like the patron saint of children all over the world. Children love him. And why would that be? My imagination is he probably had a very big heart for children because he lost his parents when he was young too.
Right.
People don't know that part of his story though, and so they just look and see a jolly old man, and in fact he had gone through quite a bit during the Roman emperors and suffering and torture, but he came out with a smile, and he helps a lot of people, and you can do the same. So.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great story. It sounds like it's going to be a great production. Do you think that this is the first of many more books and stories that you may bring to life, like you are this one?
I think I'll birth this baby first, and then we'll talk about the future ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to. I do love writing books. I've written about 30 books, and I've written several albums of music. You can listen on ericelder.com. You can listen to all my music and my books. But this story I have a special heart for. My wife was actually born on Christmas Day too, and so she has a special connection to Christmas, and so I love just taking this story, bringing it to life.
Nice, very exciting. It sounds like a wonderful basis for this story. A lot of yourself in it, a lot of your heart's in it, a lot of your wife's heart and soul is in it. So
there's one more PS I could add.
Sure.
A ballet company in South Carolina found my book on Amazon 4 years ago now. And they said, we love this story. Could we turn this into a full-length ballet? We have 250 students at our dance studio. We'd love to make it a ballet. My daughter at the time was in dance, and she said, tell him you'll give him permission as long as she can be in the show. And so I said, oh, my daughter's homeschooled. Could she be in the show? They said, of course. We have some homeschool families. She went down for a month and trained with them. So they did this production, beautiful, beautiful production. Wow. And you can watch it online. It's free on my YouTube channel too at ericelder.com. But that was the first time I saw these characters coming to life and twirling and whirling in 3D. And there's a beautiful documentary about it too that you can watch. And that's not the show we're doing here. This show is a musical, so it's all original songs that I've written, and it's singing and dancing, but that's just a ballet, so it's pure dancing all the way through. Gorgeous costumes, gorgeous staging, wonderful dancers, and if you watch that, I'd encourage you just to watch it. It's another telling of the story from a dance world.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wow, how interesting. Who knew, right, that when you started this 25 years ago, that this was the impact that you'd be having 25 years later, that your people contacting you to do ballets, to do movies, to do wow, it's just amazing where sometimes a little project can take you to places you never thought you'd be.
Very true.
Right?
Very true.
And yeah, that's just exciting. That's just great. And we're very happy again to have you here in Streator. How nice for you to come back home, so to speak.
Yeah, I love Streator, love the people, and my wife's parents were from here and got married here, and so we have a deep connection with Streator.
Great, and it's nice the way things just kind of happen, right? So the school had decided to rebuild this auditorium. It needed it. We knew that it was in pretty sorry state, and that should finish right in time for you to come here and perform for us, or put on your performance for us.
That was a big decision maker for me. When I heard about the auditorium, I thought that would be a great location. Came to see it, and I really appreciate Kim Freeman. She's the auditorium manager here with the school, and she's been a great help to us too.
Nice. Right, very good. Well, we're very happy and looking forward. I'm looking forward to coming to see the play. Like I said, I talked to a couple of my friends. I think I've got 5 or 6 tickets sold. I'm going to sell more now that I got a chance to sit down and talk with you. So you guys better get on his name was Nicholas.com before all those tickets are sold. We're going to go over the times one more time just to make sure, in case you missed it, and we know you want to get those tickets. It's Friday, December 17th with a 7 p.m. show. Saturday, December 18th with a 2 p.m. matinee, and then a 7 p.m. show again. The show lasts a little over 2 hours, 2.5, maybe, depending on how things go. And I know that I have a tendency to talk really fast when I'm a little...
And we've never done it before live, so this is it's the excitement of live theater. You get to see. We have kids younger than 1 year old in the show.
How many people are in the cast?
We have 60 in the cast, and
60.
another 30 behind the scenes at least. So it'll be about 100 people in the end that are putting on the show, between ushers and ticket takers and cast and crew and set design and everything we're doing.
Oh yeah, so definitely worth your 10, 15, 20 bucks. I mean, there's 100 people involved in putting this on. And so for that alone, that when there's that many people involved in a project and that many people who are dedicated to the story and to putting on this performance, you know it's worth it. You got to come and see it.
And
How
anything
could you
can
not,
happen
right?
in live theater.
Right, yeah.
I hope nothing bad, but anything could happen that would be fun and interesting. So
Sure.
I hope you'll come and enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope so too. I look forward to seeing you here. Once again, I'm Toni with Out and About with Toni and Diane for Gleam TV for MediaCom. You can watch the show on MediaCom if that's your cable provider, and we look forward to seeing you at the play. Till next time. See ya.
Bye-bye.